Well, from the Maria Asher archives comes a cool Today Show clip from October 9th, 1995, reporting on Cleveland's Renaissance. Sorry to laugh. They say it's really finally gonna happen. It's sort of like all the war reports, all the stuff, just change a few names and faces, like Justin Bibb instead of Mayor White in this report, and nothing ever changes. Cleveland rocks.
In a moment, what's happening in Cleveland? That's right after these messages.
The Cleveland Indians, with the best record in all of Major League Baseball, are now cruising through the American League playoffs, and they are only one in a long line of success stories for a city that is definitely on the comeback trail. NBC's Dawn Fratangelo has that story.
It's being called the new American city, Cleveland. That's right, Cleveland.
We were always called the mistake by the lake, and it's no longer true.
Devastated by the fall of the steel industry in the late 1970s, Cleveland has been slowly building a shiny new downtown and a better reputation.
Mr. Rich Little.
Hard to believe for a city that was for years the brunt of jokes.
Have you any idea how Governor Reagan plans to keep Russia from invading Poland?
He's going to rename it Cleveland. Nobody wants to go there.
And there were plenty of reasons to poke fun. The city declared bankruptcy. The mayor's hair went up in flames during a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The Cuyahoga River was so polluted with oil, it too caught fire.
I'm really sick and tired of burning river stories.
And so is the rest of Cleveland. Instead, it's boasting about new stories, like how this once sleepy town is now rocking.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame!
I.M. Pei's $92 million Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is expected to draw 1 million people a year. The city that once banned the Beatles from performing here in the 1960s is expected to rake in $84 million a year in rock and roll tourist revenue.
It's not just a lot of new buildings in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but a really quality city.
And there's the story Cleveland's been waiting 4 decades to tell. The long-suffering Indians are in the playoffs for the first time since 1954, the longest playoff drought in baseball history.
I walked out of there in 1954. I was 7 years old and pretty innocent. I knew we'd be back in a couple years or so. And so 41 years later, we are back. It's just a little late.
It was just amazing to see people down here. I mean, thousands and thousands of people. Everybody was just so happy that this was happening to their city.
2 years ago, Melrose did the unthinkable. He opened a new restaurant downtown, which had long been deserted.
I don't think you could have opened up a business in downtown and been successful 3-4 years ago.
So far, it's paying off, in part because of the new stadium and sports arena. A far cry from 10 years ago, when no one wanted to attend games or play for the team.
It is quite a turnaround. I mean, it's exactly day and night when I played there.
They thought this was the absolute worst place. People would have rather played in some of the newer parks in AAA than come to the major leagues and play for the Cleveland Indians.
And to think, this new stadium and complex just made it off the drawing board. In 1990, Cleveland voters barely passed a referendum for a sin tax on alcohol and cigarettes to pay for it. If it had failed, the Indians more than likely would have left town. And Cleveland, well, it might still be waiting for its renaissance.
Yeah, 55-62.
The Indian success is also symbolic. Clevelanders are beaming with civic pride.
Go Jack! Go Jack!
From the young to the saintly.
We'll say, go, go, Jack! Go, go!
But winning a pennant and building a shiny downtown will not solve everything. Brent Larkin of the Cleveland Plain Dealer.
It's a better place to live today than it was 15 years ago. For some people, but not for everyone.
The school system is one of the worst in the country. Some inner-city neighborhoods are still plagued by poverty and crime. There is promise in others, like this one on Cleveland's Poor East Side. New housing is planned in this empty lot right next to a new mall.
Before this was here, what did you have?
Everybody migrating out to the suburbs.
We're not utopia. You have to do both, neighborhoods and downtown, because in all honesty, all of this is beautiful, but you can't have a great town with only a great downtown. You've got to do both.
Cleveland's popular mayor, Michael White, is the city's main pitchman. And finally, there's something to sell.
I love this town. That's one thing that's unique about us Clevelanders. We love this town to death.
And you can take a lot of abuse, huh?
We can take it and we can dish it out too.
For a change, the joke is no longer on Cleveland.
I've never had a bad day in Cleveland.
For today, Dawn Fratangelo, NBC News, Cleveland.
They've had to take it for a long time. We have some personal experience with Cleveland. You worked there for quite a while, remained very popular there. I went to school at Ohio University and had friends in Cleveland, so I used to go up on the weekends. When you went back for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, what'd you think?
It was so exciting. Everybody in that town was excited, not just about the Indians, as they mentioned, but just the whole attitude, the whole spirit of that city. And it's because it's one of the great kept secrets, but not anymore. People know there's a great quality of life and a great place to live.
I think a lot of people would have bet it would have never happened in downtown Cleveland. When I used to go there on weekends, you really didn't want to spend a whole lot of time there. You go to some of the suburbs, but there was absolutely nothing happening downtown.
No, a couple of bars in the flats, a little industrial area, but that was it.
Good for them. Welcome back.
Thank you for watching Cleveland Live Music. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. There's further patronage information in the video descriptions below. Thanks for all the support and making the channel grow.